Hey, how's it going? Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's good. In here and in general. Well, welcome to a vlog. It's me, John, and it's been a bit since the last vlog I did. I think it's been about a week or so. I wanted to make a vlog tonight because there's likely going to be very less of me on YouTube going forward from this week on, from next week, from Monday onwards. My Christmas rota is officially kicking in tomorrow, Monday, and I'm literally not going to have much spare time. As it stands right now, and what it says in black and white on the rota itself, I'm probably going to be working most weekends, and I'm probably only going to have maybe one day to myself, probably this weekend. The first week of going back after being off this weekend. I'm likely going to be having to work Friday and Saturday this week. Sunday, I don't know. The week after that, it's looking like it's going to be all in. I don't even know if I'm even going to have a day off next week. And right up to the point of breaking off for Christmas. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of hours. Very little time in between for me to readjust and rest up. I'm likely going to be working till any latest of 9, 10 o'clock every night because of the nature of my job and everything. Yeah, it's Christmas, obviously. Well, not officially, because obviously we're not even in December yet. But we kind of with how it works at my place, the rota system kicks in like the last week of November. Yeah, so the last week of November usually is when it kicks off, and we get the Christmas overtime rate, which will be on the 29th, which is Friday. So the festive Christmas overtime rate kicks in or starts officially on Friday this week, which is the yeah. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, as I've been mentioning in a few vlogs, I'm not much looking forward to it, but I'm glad it's finally here and it's not lingered on too long. It's finally here. It's finally starting. It's gonna be knackering. I'm not going to have any energy. I'm certainly not going to be in the mindset for making any videos. And I'm not going to really have much spare time to be able to spend any time on a video, really. It's also my birthday this Thursday coming. And I'm probably, I will be working my birthday for the first time in years because I usually book off my birthday as a holiday, which is like the last holiday of the year I usually book off. I do it mostly just to get rid of any remaining holiday hours I have left. So say if I've still got maybe about 4 or 5 days left of my holiday allocation, I usually put that towards my birthday, and I take like a nice extra long weekend or so off, or a whole week off. But unfortunately, I hit a snag. I thought I still had about 2 days holiday left, at least 2 or 3 days holiday left. But when I went back off my last holiday, which was when I went to Nottingham a couple months ago. When I went to Nottingham a couple months ago, that was actually my last bit of holiday time I had left. So when I checked, when I got back, there was nothing remaining, so I wasn't able to take any time off for my birthday, so like I usually do. So unfortunately, I've got to put my big boy pants on this year, and for the first time in a long time, because I've only worked my birthday, I think, twice. Oh, this will be my third time in the history of me working. I know some people might find it really stupid, childish. It's only a day. It's only a birthday. Some people don't have any sort of affection for birthdays, maybe because of personal reasons, or they've just grown out of it. Simple as. They don't get the buzz like they did when I was a kid. Now, I don't really get much of a buzz around my birthday myself, as I did when I was a kid. It was different. Same with Christmas and so on. Obviously, when you're a kid, you get excited when it's your birthday, when it's Christmas. That's usually how it works. But as you get older, that sort of like dwindles out a bit. However, I like to have a bit of time to myself over my birthday. If I do something, if I plan to go out with mates or do something specific for my birthday as like a treat, then yeah, that's fine. There has been times I've gone for nights out with friends on my birthday or birthday weekend or whatever. And there's been times where we've gone bowling, gone to cinema, quite a lot of stuff. But it's very rare. I don't really plan. If it happens, it happens. It's one of them. But unfortunately, I'm working my birthday this year, which I'm not happy about. But end of the day, it's my own fault. I didn't really keep my eye on what I still had remaining properly, holiday allowance wise. So, but hopefully next year I'll rectify that problem, and I'll be off for my birthday next year. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to make this vlog. I'm still full of cold as well. Still full of cold, but it's not as bad as it was. I've had this cold now for the past week. It properly started Sunday, Saturday into Sunday of last weekend. The Friday and the Saturday I felt fine, and it was Saturday evening I started to get a bit of an headache, just a very slight headache on the Saturday evening. Went to sleep as normal, woke up the next day, and I just had a really booming headache, like proper temple headache, migraine basically. And I don't suffer from headaches very often. It's very rare that I get headaches or migraine or anything like that. But it was really throbbing. And then my nose started and really bunged up and started to cough. And so, yeah, my headache has subsided this past week since it started. I don't have a headache anymore, but I've got a lingering cough and bloody nose and everything. But yeah, so yeah, I'll just be glad when this whole next couple of weeks is out the way and Christmas is finally here. We're broken off for Christmas and it's here. Excuse me. Because I absolutely hate the whole countdown run up to. I absolutely hate it. I just don't find any happiness because it's all Black Friday madness, people going ridiculously mental, being primal animals to try and take, going for the bloody Black Friday sales and bloody fighting people for the last Samsung TV or whatever. So yeah, it's that kind of madness at the moment. Yeah, I just don't like the whole run up to. I'll be happy once we've broken off for Christmas, which I don't know. I'm gonna have to double check the rota again. But last year I think last year I had about 4 days off because of how it landed with what I usually work. But I think this year we get Christmas Day and Boxing Day off irrespective. But whether or not I'm going to have Christmas Eve off again, because I had Christmas Eve off last year as well. Well, I don't know. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure we usually get at least minimum of 3 days off over Christmas. And then we're back in for 2 or 3, maybe 4 days, and then we're off again for 2 days for New Year. So I have New Year's Eve off and New Year's Day off, and then back in on the 2nd of January. So yeah, but I'll be glad when it's all out the way and all done and dusted for another year. And probably once we get back into the new year, I'm going to start looking for another job, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do or what I want to do. I have never had an inkling of or a clear route. I've never had a clear route or thought of what I want to do as a career or as a job. Of course, I've had some dreams. I've had some points where there was one point when I was a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter, but I couldn't do that because I've got asthma. And I've got glasses as well. So I was always told that because I don't, I wear glasses, I can't be a firefighter for some reason because obviously, I don't know. Obviously, mostly because obviously with asthma, I'm not going to be much good as a firefighter, am I? I'm bloody coughing my guts up and have an asthma attack right in the middle of it. So that was out of it. But yeah, I've had some points where I wanted to do this or do that, but it never came to be. And I went to college and did motor vehicle mechanics after school. That was kind of what I wanted to do at the beginning. I wanted to work on cars or work with cars, but that didn't work out at the time. So I just got a regular job, regular 9 to 5 basically, and just didn't go back to that. So yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, people say to me like, you are good at certain things, like IT, for instance. You understand technology and this, that, and the other, and you're good at your art and things like that. Why don't you do something with your artwork? I'm like, well, I'm not that good of an artist. Yes, I've improved, but I'm not very good compared to other people out there. I would not be able to make any money on my art at all, as it currently is, or on my current skill set anyway. It's something I would have to work on, of course. But also when it comes to like my YouTube stuff, can I do anything in media? I probably could, but again, that's going to take a lot of years out of. I mean, I'm 35 on Thursday. I know I'm still young, but if I went into something that does, if I go into something, I'm going to be old and bloody grey by the time I've finished all my training. And that's what kind of puts me off a bit, because I know I'm still young-ish. I'm still young. I'm not quite in my 40s yet. Not far off, but still. But I don't know, just going back to education again puts me off, and I don't like it. Me and education do not get on. There really doesn't. But I don't know. We'll see. I want to stay well away from retail. Well away from retail. I am not stepping foot in a retail establishment again for money. Never will I ever go into retail. Ever again. I've learnt one main harsh lesson when I used to work at Asda. 10 fucking years at that place. One of the worst experiences in work in my life. They actually did me a justice when I ended up bloody losing my job, to be honest. And then obviously Morrison's wasn't as bad, but still I didn't like it. But yeah, I'm not going into retail again or any sort of customer service job. I am definitely not doing call center job. No way. Anything customer service related, I am not doing. Because me and people, I've got, even though I might sound like a complete prick how I'm coming over with saying that, but I just don't have time for people sometimes. Some people, and obviously I'm not saying everybody's the same. Obviously there is people in my life, people I've met over the years that I care about and have a massive amount of respect for, and you know who you are. making that clear. Anybody that I've met over the years, when it comes to conventions, or when it comes to in my personal life through school or college or whatever, people I've met over the years, they know who they are, and I know, and they will know. If they know me well enough, they will know I'm not meaning them when I say this. But anyone on the outside of the people that I know, and the people I've met up with, and the people I have a lot of respect for and care about, I cannot give a shit anybody. Life has taught me the world is an unforgiving place, and everybody knows that. The world is an unforgiving place. Some people can be absolutely just disrespectful, have no respect for anyone but themselves, and sometimes not even themselves. It's just an act they put on to make them feel better. So yeah, I just don't give a shit anymore about people in general. Funnily enough, before I started in retail, I was very much a people person. I put others before myself. And I learnt very quickly, working in retail, that and my opinion on people just changed. I'm not saying everybody I dealt with at work, at that time, was problematic. I've met some people through that job that I'm still friends with now. But mostly management-wise and customer service-wise, and when it comes to some of the customers and everything, were absolutely abysmal. It was just awful. No support, and just basically treat like shit. So, and I learned very quickly that you've got to be careful around people, especially people you don't know. So yeah, I used to be a people person, but that changed quickly. But anyway. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap things up with this, but otherwise I'm gonna be yammering about depressing stuff for too long. But yeah, obviously it was TFN Minicon Reading this past weekend. I hope anyone watching this, any of my fellow TFN friends that went to Reading this past weekend, I hope you all had a great time, had a nice time. I sadly couldn't make it. I bought my ticket. I actually bought my ticket for Reading Minicon, but obviously I went to Nottingham for a convention, and kind of messed things up a bit with doing that. There was a voice actress that I really wanted to meet, and kind of impulse kind of thing, and I bought my ticket for that event, and then I realised I had Minicon booked as well, the ticket anyway sorted, and I was like, oh shit, now I can't afford to do Minicon now. So that's the reason why I didn't go, because I couldn't afford to do 2 conventions on the bounce like that. On top of whatever everything else I did this year, because obviously I went abroad to Benalmádena in Spain. Then there was tfnation not long after, in August, August gone, and then I went to that other convention in Nottingham. Yeah, so there was a lot that happened this past year that was expensive and I had to save up for. So I thought another convention on top of the one I went to in Nottingham would have just been, I just couldn't do it. So that was the reason why I had to bow out, unfortunately. But it seems like it was a good, eventful event, and it did well, and people seem to enjoy themselves, which is the main. But obviously next year they've just announced, I'm not going to go into massive details on TFN, but they've just announced the first guest for the one in August next year. Voice actor guest, which is cool. So I'm hoping to get to the one in August. Obviously the main one in August is like, I have to go to that. Next year, it's looking, plans for next year. This chatter and talk between me and my mate Smithy. Smithy said he wants to do another holiday abroad again somewhere, probably more later in the year. He's thinking about going somewhere warm, maybe November time next year. So at least it's not. At least that's going to be a bit easier for me to afford to save up for TFN as well as going away, because it'll make things a bit easier, because of if we do go abroad and it's going to be in November instead of more spring summertime area of the year, it's going to give me a good 11 months to save up for. And obviously August is right smack bang, and there's still a fair few months after TFN for me to pick up the saving again afterwards. So I think it'll work out to be able to do them two events back to back. But there's also an idea of going for a weekend away in Liverpool with Smithy as well, but we're thinking of doing one of them coach trips. We're thinking of doing one of them coach trips to Liverpool and check out do the Beatles tour. Thinking of doing that. I think that's about March, April time next year. So that's going to be a 5-day thing. It's just like a long weekend. So we've got the price of what that's going to be, but then obviously we need a bit extra on top for spending. But yeah, so we're thinking of doing that, possibly. Me and my mate Smithy and another mutual friend of ours called Matty, a guy I used to work with at Asda. We're thinking of inviting him along as well, so it's going to be at least 2 or 3 of us, and if he wishes to join us, so we're going to see about that. Yeah, so there's that, and then TFN, and then whatever, and then if there's anything else in the meantime as well. But yeah. Well, anyway, so that is all I wanted to talk about. I'm going to be going a bit media silent. No, but I'm going to be going a bit silent over the next couple of weeks. If I do happen to get time, and if I get like an unexpected day off, because the Christmas rota at my work, where I am now, it can change. It depends on demand and whether there's been a change or there's been a problem, or maybe they don't need to sort as many whatever out. I don't know, because it's one of the things, it can change. So if it happens to be that I do happen to get a rare extra day off, or I do end up I do have at least a day off over the next couple of weeks, then you might maybe see a vlog or something from me, but I'm not going to promise anything. So you probably won't see anything from me until when I break off for Christmas, I think, which will be in the next couple of weeks. Yeah. So about 2 or 3 weeks altogether. So, yeah. So, yeah, there could be a good 2 or 3 week lull of me uploading. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Whether I didn't really need to, but I wanted to. Because, obviously, this channel's started to pick up a bit of an audience again. And, so I want to try and keep this channel ticking over nicely. And, of course, I want to, my main channel as well. But, yeah. But obviously, work, unfortunately, is going to, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to take up a lot of time. And obviously, the next proper time off is going to be Christmas itself, over the festive season, festive point, when we break off. But yeah, so take care of yourselves, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Take care of yourselves, and bye-bye for now. Bye bye.